CFP is not simply to understand finance. Is knowing your client. माँ बाप हैं, अच्छा कमा भी रहे हैं, मैं कहता हूँ सब कुछ कर रहे हैं. आपका बच्चा अगर समझदार है, नॉर्मल है, तो उसके लिए फिर भी आप मैनेज कर सकते हो. ऑटिस्टिक चाइल्ड के लिए मैनेज कैसे करना है किसी को पता ही नहीं. आप समझ लें सिचुएशन. मैं टैक्स एक्सपर्ट होकर नहीं समझ सकता, बट मैं ये कैसे बताऊं कि अगर आपका बच्चा ऑटिस्टिक है फॉर एग्जांपल, तो अगर आप में से गॉड फॉरबिड किसी को कुछ हो गया तो उसके लिए कैसे प्लानिंग करनी है आपने. आज मैं बता सकता. आई एम पार्ट ऑफ मेनी फैमिलीज दीस डेज.
True. I think this is the beauty of this course, right? Hi everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. My name is Pankaj Dhingra and as you all know me by now, I am a proud FinTrammer. Welcome guys, welcome to the another success story. A success story wherein we will get to know somebody who has done wonders in the field of finance. And that's what we are here for. आज तो हम पूरा ज्ञान लेने वाले हैं that how has this happened. I have with me a gentleman who is a qualified chartered accountant and also a CFP by profession, and he's doing wonders, my friend, in the field of finance since last 2 decades. And that is the reason I really wanted to request him to be here to really speak to you guys and talk about in terms of his journey, in terms of what all he has done, the way he has done. So should we go and uncover this untold story? Yes, sir. So we'll straight away jump to Sunny sir. I have with me today Sunny sir, Sunny Tanwar sir, to really talk to you in terms of, what all he has done. So welcome Sunny, welcome to the podcast. We really wanted to share a lot about you with our students. So, I think thanks for, agreeing and of course being here. We'll probably start off with your introduction. I think that's the first thing first, right? We'll start off with your introduction and then we'll take it up from there.
Thank you, Pankaj sir, for bringing me up. So my name is Sunny Tanwar and I've been a CA and CFP. It's been more than 2 decades of experience now. So I worked with AIG, I worked with HSBC, like banking and finance, and also insurance industry. And thereafter I moved to my own practice, and also like I've been CFP and I'm also teaching CFP these days. That's about it.
Very nice. So, don't go by him, right? He's very modest and I'm telling you, he has been instrumental, guys. He has been very instrumental in terms of, adding value to the finance fraternity at large on the holistic basis. And we'll try to uncover that as we really get onto it. But what this really brings me, and this is a perfect segue for me to really ask this. Let's say you mentioned that, you did chartered accountancy and then you did CFP.
Right.
What would be more important out here is that you did what? You did your BCom or BCom honors?
Yes.
BCom. Okay. आपने BCom किया, तो BCom के साथ में ही CA शुरू कर दिया? साथ में शुरू. तो क्यों किया? What was the reason that आपने CA शुरू किया? What really motivated you?
All right. So मैं इसमें थोड़ा सा तड़का लगा के बताता हूँ. आपने सुना होगा पहले जब मेरे दादा थे वो कहते थे 10th कर लो बहुत बड़ी बात है. फिर मेरे पापा कहते थे 12th कर लो बहुत बड़ी बात है. फिर मेरे कजन्स हुए बड़े, वो कहते ग्रेजुएशन कर लो बहुत बड़ी बात है. फिर जब मेरा नंबर आया लगा ग्रेजुएशन करके कुछ होगा ही नहीं. बीकॉम तो हर कोई कर रहा है. आलू टमाटर के भाव, लिटरली आलू टमाटर के भाव कर रहे हैं. आई थॉट आई विल चैलेंज माई सेल्फ. लिटरली आई विल चैलेंज माई सेल्फ. I mean, no one in my family was more than graduate. In my extended family as well. I'll be very honest. I thought I'll challenge myself. I'll do something which is of extreme in finance in India. I'll take the challenge, the topmost. I looked for CS, CFP, not CFP. I looked for CS. I looked for CWA. I looked for CA. And I thought, which is the most challenging one? I saw CA and then I picked it up. And I didn't regret it a single day. I would say that it was a challenging course and I happened to love it and it gave me a lot throughout my career.
Oh yes, by all means. And being a chartered accountant, of course, same fraternity. Of course, this course is really challenging, but equally rewarding too.
Of course.
Because it is being recognized all over. So, you get the rightful recognition if you are able to, of course, qualify. So, sir, ठीक है, चलो, दादाजी ने कुछ कहा, पिताजी ने कुछ कहा, and finally we ended up doing CA और CA हो गया. जब CA हुआ तो ऑफ कोर्स एक पंप अप आता है कि बॉस क्या कर डाला मैंने, राइट? तो ऑफ कोर्स जॉब शुरू करी.
एग्जैक्टली.
कि जॉब करनी है मुझे. तो जॉब आपने कहाँ से शुरू किया? Where did we started off with?
Sure. So सबसे पहले मैं CA firm में था, like I was working with the CA firm, so I continued with them only. Thereafter, I gave some interviews and all. I joined AIG.
Oh, very good.
I was taken to Australia, I was taken to US, I was taken to Hong Kong. We worked there for some time, brought the processes, brought the business down to India. We set up a finance center. And not boasting about it, but when we started this, there were about 7 people in AIG in India. And when I left AIG, after about 3 years, we were 1,500 people. So you wouldn't, one more thing, that's so proud, and I keep it with my heart all the time. Like I'll tell this to my daughters, my granddaughters and all. I was the first person in India who was awarded by Mr. David Herzog, who was the then CFO of AIG, Global AIG. And he flew down just for 4 hours just to give that award in India, and he went back to US. That was the time. And then like with all this success, I moved to HSBC. HSBC was the banking sector. So I was always interested in insurance and banking. I thought I'll just taste both of them. I did that. And then in about November 2016, I thought I'll move on to my own practice. That's what.
And I told you, right? He's very modest there. Somebody flying from US, from wheresoever, to give him the award, there has to be something, right? That was the reason, guys. We really wanted him to be here, to really talk to you कि boss ऐसा क्या करना है कि कोई flight लेके आपके पास आए आपको award देने के लिए. Good, pretty clear. ठीक है, job शुरू करी. फिर practice क्यों करनी है अब तो job बहुत अच्छी चल रही थी, जीवन अच्छा चल रहा है. You know, why practice?
Right. I was being taken to many countries. आगे भी चलना था यही सब. मतलब if I would have stayed there, I would have, I mean, entire half world तो मैं घूम ही जाता at least 10 साल.
बिल्कुल.
But somewhere deep through, I was like कि कुछ तो legacy बनानी है. Legacy बनती है अपने काम में. I wouldn't say कि job नहीं करनी चाहिए. Job gave me that perspective, that experience, that exposure. बहुत ज़रूरी है. To anybody out there, any student listening to this, I would say start your career with a job, even if you have to start with yourself, with your own business. So I have had the experience of around 4 or 5 years of pre-qualification and then 4 or 5 years of post-qualification experience. Then I thought, if I have to start something, I have to leave legacy. I'll have to start with something of my own. I left the job. And again, I've been a quick decision maker. I just left it on a day. I thought I went to the office, thought struck. And I was like, अब नहीं करना है. And that very moment I gave the notice. सुबह के 7 बजे का टाइम था. चाय पीते I sent the email. I'll leave this. मुझे नहीं पता था मैं क्या करूँगा. एक thought था कि practice करूँगा, but कैसे करूँगा नहीं पता था. But I started with it, and it's all flourishing now.
Very good, very good. And that's, I can tell you guys, one of the most difficult decision for anyone in his or her life would be कि ना वो जो एक होता है ना एक salary cycle से बाहर आना. That's not easy for anyone. Even it was not for me. I'm sure it's not gonna be for you too. Because we are always because all our expenses are also being linked to the date, right?
Exactly.
And it's really difficult for us to really get out of it. कि नहीं मुझे अपना कुछ करना और हमें पता भी नहीं क्या करना. That is even worse, right? We don't know what to do. But kudos, you know, in terms of what we did, the way you did. Sir, ठीक है, practice शुरू कर दिया, जीवन फिर ठीक चलने लगा. अब CFP क्यों करनी है भाई? What really motivated you there कि ना मुझे CFP करना है?
Exactly.
CFP ही क्यों करना है? Exactly. That is also a question.
Perfect. As I told you, CA was a fulfilling career, of course. I respect that. But once I moved to my own practice, I was to serve some people who were lacking in financial management. Or say, general public as a whole in India, they do some bad investments. They do some investment based on their like friends' recommendations, relatives' recommendations. They lose money and all. So people approached me. I mean, general clients approached me. Sir, how do I make the investments? I've seen my colleagues. Sir, I'll be very honest. I've seen my colleagues who are in practice. They recommend the products where they get commission from. I couldn't do that. I mean, I've been very honest with my profession all through. I couldn't do that. I was like, if I have to do that work, I have to have some degree. I have to have some knowledge about this course, this profession, where I can be of actual help to people who are coming to me. So I was searching for a few courses. I happened to find this CFP, I went through the content, I went through the syllabus before even signing it up. I thought this is what I need. It has insurance management, it has estate planning, it has all the things, risk management, retirement planning. I would say investment management. Where do I invest? How much return do I get? What is the actual return? All these things were those things which the clients were asking me for, and I chose the course, did that course, and I mean, if not more, I must have helped around 200, 300 clients by now.
That's amazing, guys. And you know what? This is actually giving back to the fraternity at large. This is actually giving back to people at large, because when you know something, when you have learned something which can really help others, right? And for CFP, we always say that, CFP is a kind of a profession wherein if somebody becomes a CFP, then he's not only gaining for himself or for his own family,
Right.
he's actually helping various families, because then he can disseminate the knowledge कि boss इन्वेस्टमेंट करनी ही क्यों है, पैसा बचाना ही क्यों है, बचाना है तो कहाँ बचाना है,
Right.
कैसे बचाना है, कहाँ इन्वेस्ट करना है, क्यों इन्वेस्ट करना है, कैसे, क्या फाइनेंशियल प्लान होना चाहिए, फाइनेंशियल प्लान की क्या कंसिडरेशन होनी चाहिए, एंड सो ऑन सो फोर्थ. सो it is very holistic in terms of the coverage, whatever I little I know, but I can really tell you that अगर आप इसका कंटेंट देखते हो CFP का, तो आपको एक्चुअली में बिल्कुल ग्रास रूट लेवल तक ले जाता है कि भाई अगर आपने अपने जीवन का प्लान कुछ बनाना है तो उसके लिए आपको क्या क्या सोचना पड़ सकता है. एंड आई कैन टेल यू, आप जब उस एक्सरसाइज को देखोगे, देन यू वुड रियलाइज कि अरे बाबा इतनी सारी चीजें सोचनी होती हैं, एंड इवन क्वालिफाइंग, बीइंग ए क्वालिफाइड चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट, इट इज नॉट देयर इन आवर करिकुलम, राइट? हमारे पास नहीं है वो चीजें.
That's what I was lacking. That's why I went for CFP.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think you're bang on कि वो जो feeler आता है in
Right.
terms of understanding numbers is really different.
Right.
अच्छा चलो ठीक है, सनी सर ने CFP कर लिया, बहुत सारे जनों को हेल्प कर रहे हैं, बट सनी सर इस पूरी जर्नी में, राइट, एक चार्टर्ड अकाउंटेंट बनने में और फिर उसके बाद CFP चूज करने में और फिर CFP कर लेने में, क्या सबसे बड़ी प्रॉब्लम देखी CFP करने के लिए? क्या ऐसा लगा आपको कि हाँ यार ये चीज बड़ी मुश्किल थी CFP में?
I'll be very honest. एक बार CA कर लिया तो CFP इतना मुश्किल नहीं लगा. But I know I'm talking from a different perspective, because I've been teaching this course for some time now to students, and students range from being college students to professionals who have had experience of 20 years, 30 years maybe. You can appreciate the range of, the variation in the age in the students. Everyone is loving it, no? Even the college students who are doing graduation right now, they are also pursuing the course. And those who have done, 20 years, 30 years, they are doing excellently in their careers, right? They don't even need to help others. They're doing it for themselves as well, and also to change their profession sometimes. The most difficult thing I see while students do, or maybe I also did, was the management of time. As a working professional, you have to take some time out, maybe, and that's not much. You don't need 4 hours, 5 hours daily, no. You might, if you invest, I'll tell you very honest, if you invest just 1 hour each day for maybe around 3 to 4 months during the exam, during the final exam, that would be enough. On other days, 5 to 6 hours or 5 hours a week, that's much. Even you can spend on a weekend, or you can spend 1 hour each day, 40 minutes, 45 minutes, that's great. One more thing as a content, the difficulty level on the content, it's just that it's a bit long content. Why? And again, do not judge it in the perspective of being a long content. The length of the content is because once you're out in the market as a professional, or once you are analyzing the investments, analyzing the overall finance of a person, you need all those knowledge. Even if you're not expert in a particular field. Suppose, I'll tell you, if you want to do some risk planning or say insurance planning for someone, you need to know what are his other goals. You need to know what is his retirement planning, how much does he invest in retirement planning, how much does he invest in, say, insurances, or say emergency funds. So you need to understand all those perspectives, all those methods, all those steps, then only you can decide. That's the reason. That's the only difficulty I found in the content.
I think one very important point that sir has brought in over here is, and that actually not only goes with CFP, but with any qualification that you undertake, is the consistency, right? Having 1 hour a day, कि मुझे पढ़ना ही है बॉस 1 घंटा कम बॉट में, मुझे हफ्ते के अंदर 6-7 घंटे निकालने ही है बॉस कम बॉट में, ये इसका बहुत बड़ा रिजल्ट मिलेगा, बट तब मिलेगा जब आप कंसिस्टेंट रहोगे. एंड दैट्स वेयर आई थिंक, एंड जितना आप जॉब में होते हो ना, उतना ये कंसिस्टेंसी कम हो जाती है, बिकॉज देन it is not that easy, right? Because आपके पास 6 और चीजें हैं करने के लिए. So what is really important is that, you know, irrespective of where you are, irrespective of what you're doing, boss, मुझे 1 घंटा, 1.5 घंटा, 2 घंटा, जो भी वो टाइम है, वो निकालना है और वो देना ही देना है और वो देना ही देना है. That's gonna be the game changer. That's something that I'm sure, you know, would certainly help you in terms of doing what you're doing. Sir, मैं difficult element समझ में आता है. What is one thing that you think CFP really differentiated you now? As in, आप CA थे, फिर आपने CFP किया. क्या वो एक चीज है जो आपको बिल्कुल differentiate करती है in reference to the other people?
सर बहुत सिंपल है, बहुत सिंपल आंसर है. पहले मैं CA प्रैक्टिस कर रहा था, मान लीजिए, जो मैंने कुछ टाइम करी, कुछ महीने करी आफ्टर लिविंग द जॉब. सो मैं उनको, कोई क्रिमिनल क्लाइंट आता था, मैं उनको टैक्स कंसल्टेशन दे देता था, बिकॉज आई वाज अ टैक्स एक्सपर्ट. अकाउंटिंग कंसल्टेशन देता था, आई वाज एन अकाउंटिंग एक्सपर्ट. ठीक है, बट मैं उनको ओवरऑल नहीं फाइनेंस समझा पाता था. वो कहते सर ठीक है हमने ले लिया, इंश्योरेंस हम अपने भाई से ले लेंगे या किसी कोई बेच रहा उससे ले लेंगे. मैं उनको ये पर्सपेक्टिव नहीं दे पाता था कि क्यों लेना है, कि क्यों नहीं लेना है. आज छोटा सा एग्जांपल देता हूँ. आज आप लाइफ इंश्योरेंस लेने जाओ, कुछ नहीं पता होगा एजेंट को, सिंपल बोलेगा 10 टाइम्स ऑफ सैलरी ले लो, 25 टाइम्स ऑफ सैलरी ले लो. क्यों ले लो, मुझे चाहिए कि नहीं चाहिए, वो नंबर्स कैसे आएंगे, मुझे कितना चाहिए. आज मैं अपना इंश्योरेंस निकालता हूँ, मुझे अगर 2 करोड़ का इंश्योरेंस चाहिए तो मैं 2 करोड़ का लूंगा. कोई मुझे 50 लाख का बेच जाता है, कोई मुझे 3 करोड़ का बेच जाता है. मुझे पता होना चाहिए. तो मुझे ओवरऑल फाइनेंस समझ आने लगा, मुझे ओवरऑल उनकी फैमिली सिचुएशन. और आप मानिए, CFP is not simply to understand finance. CFP is knowing your client. Is not just knowing about your client, it's knowing your client. You have to sit with him, you have to understand him, you have to feel his emotions, you have to feel the empathy, you have to be emotionally intelligent. You might have to discuss to him certain difficult situations. God forbid, if suppose a family has autistic child. I'll just tell you the story. Don't.
अभी क्वेश्चन भी आया था ना इस पे भी, CFP में क्वेश्चन भी आया था.
हाँ बिल्कुल आया था सर. एक ऑटिस्टिक चाइल्ड है सर, मान लीजिए एग्जांपल देता हूँ. फैमिली में माँ बाप हैं, अच्छा कमा भी रहे हैं, मैं कहता हूँ सब कुछ कर रहे हैं. अगर माँ बाप में से किसी को कुछ हो गया, मान लीजिए वर्किंग पार्टनर है, जो भी है, उनको कुछ हो गया, आपका बच्चा अगर समझदार है, नॉर्मल है, तो उसके लिए फिर भी आप मैनेज कर सकते हो. ऑटिस्टिक चाइल्ड के लिए मैनेज कैसे करना है किसी को पता ही नहीं है. आप समझ रहे सिचुएशन. मैं टैक्स एक्सपर्ट होकर नहीं समझ सकता, राइट. मैं अकाउंटिंग एक्सपर्ट होकर नहीं समझ सकता, मैं नंबर समझ सकता हूँ, बट मैं ये कैसे बताऊं कि अगर आपका बच्चा ऑटिस्टिक है फॉर एग्जांपल, तो अगर आप में से गॉड फॉरबिड किसी को कुछ हो गया तो उसके लिए कैसे प्लानिंग करनी है आपने. आज मैं बता सकता हूं कि आपको कैसे ट्रस्ट बनाना है, कैसे आपको उसकी इनकम मैनेज करनी है, कैसे आपको उसकी फीस भी जमा कर सकते हो आप एडवांस में. और सिर्फ एडवांस जमा नहीं कर सकते, उस अमाउंट पे आपको इंटरेस्ट भी आएगा, इनकम भी आएगी. सो एक पर्सनल टच, एक ओवरऑल. आई एम पार्ट ऑफ मेनी फैमिलीज दीज डेज, यू वोंट बिलीव. आई एम पार्ट ऑफ माई क्लाइंट्स फैमिलीज. वो मुझे हर चीज में पूछते हैं. उनके घर में कोई बच्चा होता है तो मुझे बताते हैं सर बच्चा हो गया मैं क्या करूं, अब मेरे को कितनी इन्वेस्टमेंट करनी है. कोई मरता है तो बताते हैं. इवन इट्स सैड, बट कोई डाइवोर्स भी होता तो बताते हैं सर क्या करूं.
True. I think, you know, this is the beauty of this course, right? CFP actually positions you not only as an expert, but it actually positions you as the one who is being versatile enough,
Right.
that he understands each and every sphere of you know, what would change finance for you, or what is that you really need in terms of finance, what is that you may need as you go forward from the futuristic perspective. And that's what really makes this qualification very different, because ये आप सिर्फ जॉब करने के लिए नहीं देखते हो ऐसी क्वालिफिकेशन तो अपने अंदर वैल्यू ऐड करने के लिए देखी जाती है, which is gonna be a big time game changer, guys, you know, in case you're very much serious about your career, especially in finance. This is absolutely relevant, guys, because ये qualification actually ना आपको differentiate करती है not only in terms of the one that you really know finance at length, but ये आपको prepare करती है to understand each and every sphere of finance, and not only in terms of what you should do, but why you should do. बॉस मेरे को प्लान करना है, बट क्यों करना है, कैसे करना है, उस प्लान को करने के लिए क्या क्या चीजें समझ में आनी चाहिए, क्या क्या चीजें पता होनी चाहिए. ये जो वाई वाला कॉन्सेप्ट है ना, ये हमें नहीं पढ़ाया जाता है. It is more to do with the fact that, you know, we can crunch numbers in CA. We can crunch numbers and of course make some you know, very sexy balance sheets and all of that. We can all do that. But when it comes to, you know, going beyond कि बॉस एक इंडिविजुअल की क्या नीड रहेगी आज और क्या रहेगी ऑफ कोर्स आज से 50 साल बाद, जब वो होगा या नहीं होगा या जब रिटायर हो जाएगा, ये कैसे पता चलेगा? फॉर दैट यू रियली नीड टू बी वेरी होलिस्टिक, एंड दैट्स व्हाट CFP really does to you, and that's why we always say that ये क्वालिफिकेशन ना सिर्फ जॉब करने के लिए इंपॉर्टेंट नहीं है, ये क्वालिफिकेशन एक्चुअली रेलेवेंट है आपके अंदर वैल्यू ऐड लाने के लिए, जो आपको हेल्प करेगा टू नो फाइनेंस एट लेंथ, जिससे आप बाकी सबकी भी हेल्प कर सको इन सम शेप और फॉर्मेट, which is I think is really going to be a game changer, right? But this actually brings me to another one, and I just in the interest of time, I'll not probably go too much into various other questions. But एक चीज सर जो आप सजेस्ट करना चाहो उन जन के साथ जो CFP करने के बारे में सोचते हैं, right? So what is one advice that you have for them who are thinking about doing CFP?
So again, I'll be very honest. जो सोचते हैं, सिंपल एडवाइस ये सोचे ना कर लें.
Very straightforward, right?
All right. And to be on more serious note, I'll say just look at the content first.
Yes.
Just have a brief glance on the content. And I'm very sure if you are little interested in finance, you won't miss this course. As simple as that. This covers entire thing, anything and everything that you would need in your entire life. Not only for you, for your family, for your relatives, for your friends, right?
Very important. I think ये एक बहुत अच्छी चीज है कि कोई भी अगर कोर्स शुरू करना है तो पहले एक बार कंटेंट तो देख लो भाई, कंटेंट देख लो और फिर डिसाइड करना कि हाँ ये मेरे लिए रेलेवेंट होगा नहीं होगा. हमें तो लगता है पक्का से होगा, बट आप खुद भी देखो ना, सुनी सुनाई बातों पे नहीं जाने का है, एक बार देख लेने का, एंड ऑफ कोर्स देन यू हैव टू टेक दैट डिसीजन. This actually brings me to the closure, sir, and I really want to be thanking you for really being here. We are not going to be sparing you for long. We will keep asking you to be here, and of course speak to our students as much as possible.
Sure.
But thank you, thanks for taking out time. I think this is really going to be very helpful, guys. I'm sure और अगर अच्छा लगा ही है तो फटाफट से सब्सक्राइब तो कर ही देने का है, उसको तो मिस करना नहीं, और लाइक तो बनता ही है. एंड ऑफ कोर्स इफ यू स्टिल हैव एनी क्वेश्चंस तो बॉस कमेंट में जरूर से लिखो. कोई भी चीज पूछनी हो स्टार्ट करने के बारे में CFP को, या जो ऑलरेडी रजिस्टर्ड हैं उन्हें कैसे तैयारी करनी चाहिए, सर इज ऑफ कोर्स देयर टू हेल्प अस in terms of sailing through the best possible way. So कोई भी query हो तो जरूर से comment box में लिखो, and we'll be more than happy to support you there. Thank you very much, sir. Thanks really for coming in, and look forward. Thank you. Thank you, guys.